the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty!
Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? We have a lot to break down. Week 15 recap show where we're going to break down everything that did happen. Most stuff didn't happen. Week 15 was one of the flattest fantasy football weeks I've ever seen in my entire existence. This was a crazy week. We're going to go over all of the stats, the garbage stats that we can. Let me get this out of this shot here. It's got this stuff sitting right in the way. It's bothering me. Let's break down all the stats for week 15. Let's talk about what you might be looking at heading into tomorrow and Tuesday, and see what you maybe need. Hopefully, a lot of you guys had bye weeks, so anybody that didn't, Kamara, Fournette, Evans, Godwin, Brady, the list goes on and on. It was a week of absolute duds. It's crazy. My Cardinals lost to the Lions. Tom Brady didn't score a touchdown. It was absolute madness in this week 15. So let's break it all down and start off with we probably won't do a long live stream tonight, but I did want to get in here and talk a little bit about this week and give you guys my perspective on it, because a lot of you are either now in a hole walking into Monday and Tuesday. Maybe you got some calls you want to ask me that might be higher risk, higher reward type calls that you may have been looking to maybe not go toward walking into this, Monday and Tuesday, thinking that you were going to have, a nice cushion or a real close game. Maybe you got a long shot now to even win your week. But this is one of those weeks where a lot of people are crawling into a win. Like everybody's struggling. Your opponent's even potentially struggling. Some people had the right combination of players that played well. I have a couple leagues where I'm facing somebody that had everybody go off. And I had Kamara. I had, Jamar Chase. I had Josh Allen in probably half of my leagues. And he did pretty well. I had Diggs in a lot of leagues. I have Jefferson in a lot of leagues. I normally don't put all my eggs in one basket. For a couple players I did this year, in a majority of my baskets. One of them was Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson. I own Kamara in about 4, I think, leagues out of my 20 that I do. So Kamara dropping a dud of a week. We knew he's going to have a tough time against this Tampa Bay rush defense, but I thought they would have got him more involved in the passing attack. They would have figured out creative ways to use him. And in a game where they won, it's like, how did he not do more? Yeah, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, the list goes on and on. I see a lot of comments, and there are a lot of comments on Instagram and a lot of DMs that say, Jamar Chase lost me my week, or CeeDee Lamb lost me my week, or Leonard Fournette lost. These players didn't lose you your week. You had a lot of players not doing well that lost the week. If you lost the week, it was a horrible week. There were so many bad performing players and injuries and whatnot. It's crazy. Lincoln's up 30. Attaboy. Zepeda's out of the playoffs. Higgins, Gronk, and C-Pat, and AZ defense, and Stevenson. Sorry, pal. Let's break down the stats and just go over what we saw. What do we expect moving forward? Crazy. And there's some injuries and stuff we got to look at too. Let me pull up the injuries real quick and go over those before we break down the stats. And again, I don't think I'm going to go super long. I always say that, and I go like 2 hours. But I think tonight I'm not going to. But we have, let's see here. Let me get to the injuries. Where's that Leonard Fournette? Leonard Fournette was ruled out the rest of the week 15 contest with a hamstring injury. We don't have any information on that one. Let me see if I can get all the headlines just out of the way real quick and help everybody figure out, what they might be looking at walking into this coming week 16. Let's see here. Headlines. Tom Brady. Who else got hurt? Toss some names out. Who else got hurt today? I don't know if there were a lot of injuries more so than just busting weeks. Aaron Rodgers ended up with 3 TDs. That wasn't bad. There were some good performing players, but, Judy didn't catch a pass. Hollywood Brown caught 10 targets for 43 yards, which was weird and awkward. Jamar Chase didn't do anything. One catch. Joe Mixon got hurt. That was another one. Mixon got hurt. Let's see here. Mixon gets a Week 16 date against the Ravens, assuming he's healthy. I don't know that there's any sign that he's going to be out or in next week yet, so we got to wait and see on Mixon. We got Elijah Mitchell potentially coming back next week, maybe not. We've got DeAndre Swift potentially coming back next week, but Josh Reynolds. Remember me making fun of Josh Reynolds? We knew Josh Reynolds was going to go crazy the moment I made fun of his name, and I said, it sounds like feels like 2 first names. Or not Josh Reynolds. Who is it? Not Josh Reynolds. Who was the running back? Josh Reynolds. What's his name? What's the running back's name? Craig Reynolds. No. Yeah, Craig Reynolds. Was it Craig Reynolds? No. Who was it? Yeah, Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds had a day. Let's see here. Where is it? 26 rushes for 112 yards. Clearly one of the top pickups of the week if you need a guy. But Swift could be back. Yeah, we knew the moment I had a beef with Craig Reynolds on my live stream. And when I say beef, I mean just me saying I don't know that he's going to do much against my Cardinals. Letting the one bias I have inject itself into the conversation. Yeah, St. Brown had a game. That was a good outing. Let's go over the stats real quick and then get out of here. I don't know how long this show will be. Let's call it a 30-minute show. If you look at right here, I've got Tom Brady pulled up 214, 0 TDs, 1 INT. Ronald Jones stepped in for the injured Leonard Fournette for 63 yards. Chris Godwin went out with an injury, 6 for 49. Leonard Fournette went out with an injury, caught 7 balls for 33 yards. That wasn't bad. So he didn't have a horrible game, and then he goes down, and it's like, what else do we have to endure? Oh, wait, how about a Mike Evans injury? So Mike Evans, Godwin, this means AB, Antonio Brown. We talked about this on our YouTube exclusive Zoom call, which if you want to be a part of, just go on over to sleeperu.com or smitty1.com. Smitty1.com is right behind my shoulder here. Let me pull this down so you can see the sign here. Smitty1.com right over my shoulder. If you go to smitty1.com, you can click on that Zoom call, 60 Zoom calls for the year. Make sure you sign up for that so you're a part of these 2 Zoom calls every Sunday, one at halftime of the morning games and one at halftime of the Sunday night game. And on that Sunday night call, we talked about Antonio Brown and how Antonio Brown might be a solid pickup walking into this week because people dropped him. Maybe he's cut, maybe they don't use him, but my guess is that with the injuries to Godwin and Evans and Fournette, there might be a potential situation here that you might want to look into. So grab AB, and Reynolds, and grab Reynolds. My boy Reynolds that I apparently wanted to make fun of being a good start this week. He had 112 yards? 112 yards on 26 totes of the rock. Down 0.4, and he still has McLaurin left to play. I can only play one of Penny, Henderson, or Michelle. I probably go Penny, but you are in a bind because we don't really know what Hendy's role is going to be. Hendy could be a beast. Hendy could be very, very underutilized. Sony and Hendy could completely share carries, and in that case, I'd rather have Penny. Penny looks like he's going to get full volume, but can Seattle disappoint how they use the running back? Yes, I go Penny, but that's me. Okay, so nothing to see here on the Buccaneers side. They didn't score a touchdown. They didn't score a field goal. They didn't score at all. 0 points, which was fitting for the week. How the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose 9-0 to the Saints is crazy. It's crazy. This just puts a cherry on top of a very, very bad Week 15. A horrible Week 15. It didn't start out well at all when all these players are out and games are being postponed and schedules are being jostled around. And we haven't even seen the unrest that this Week 15 has caused in terms of schedules and postponing. We haven't even been to the postponed games yet. We haven't even reached the games that will probably be the most affected, the players that will be the most affected. It feels like it's going to be a bunch of Thursday games on Tuesday and Monday, where schedules are interrupted, players are not on their game. Or maybe this is bizarro world and Week 15 was our slate of Thursday games, or low scoring or crazy weird games, and Monday and Tuesday will be our traditional Sunday scoring type games. I don't know, but it was madness. It was a crazy, crazy week. The Saints didn't have much going on. Obviously, they scored 9 points, but they held the Buccaneers in check. They have the Buccaneers number, as we talked about on our YouTube exclusive call. Taysom Hill, 11 carries for 33 yards. Alvin Kamara, 11 carries for 18 yards. Alvin Kamara only pulled in, let's see here. Alvin Kamara only pulled in, 2 catches for 13 yards. Callaway, 6 for $112. So Callaway had a good day. That's it. In this game, Fournette had a decent day. Decent because he pulled in 7 receptions in PPR. So 10 points through the air and 3 points on the ground. So a decent day for Fournette and Callaway. And that's it. No one else did good in this game. It was an awful game. Moving on to the Green Bay Packer game. The Packers at the Ravens. In 2 QB leagues, Huntley was very upsetting to play against because the guy just wouldn't stop. He would not stop. This guy, you can say what you want about Lamar Jackson, and I know a lot of people are going to get upset when people start saying he's better than Lamar, and people are going to be like, you're crazy. So many people want to defend Lamar. This guy looks good. I liked him a lot about a year ago, and he the guy just hasn't had a shot. He's entering his, let's see, what year? What year is he? Let's see here. I'm trying to pull it up. It's barely loading. Yeah, last year. Last year was his first year, right? He was a rookie last year. Huntley, I remember watching this guy a little bit last year in was it preseason? When did he get his run in the preseason? It's hard to remember. Last year was a mess. This year's a mess. I can't even get anything straight anymore. I don't even know what we're looking at anymore. Fantasy football is becoming tough to keep a grasp on and understand what the heck we're looking at anymore. Today was a mess. Today was a mess. So, was it the playoffs? When did we see Huntley? I don't even remember. But Huntley's good. Let's go to the Ravens first. Ravens. Huntley had 73 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on the ground. 215 and 2 touchdowns in the air. When did Huntley play, though? Was it the preseason? Where did we see him play last year? He played a little bit, I thought. 13 rushes for 73 yards and 2 TDs on the ground. This is the first time I think a player has ever started a game that has had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. Is that correct? I mean, what a beast, man. What a beast. And he fed Mark Andrews. He fed Mark Andrews. Look at this. 10 receptions for 136 and 2 scores. Hollywood Brown, 10 receptions for 43 yards. Lat Murray, they don't need a running back. They got Huntley And that's all they need. This dude was a beast on the ground. We saw Huntley in the last preseason game for the Ravens, and he went bananas. That's where it was. I couldn't remember where we saw it. I remember thinking to myself, this guy's pretty darn good. He's definitely going to find himself a starting job, I think. Especially if he gets one more chance to prove himself. Najee Harris was another bust. That's right, Rock Out. He completely busted this week for me. I've got a lot of shares of Najee Harris, and he crapped the bed in a major way. I'm going to lose a couple games because of that. Let's go to the next game. San Francisco, Atlanta. San Francisco, Atlanta. Matt Ryan, 236-1. Mike Davis, 6 carries for 21 yards. Nothing to see here. Patterson, 18 yards on the ground. Patterson, 5 receiving yards. Patterson did nothing in this game. It was a very big disappointment. Russell Gage had 8 for 91 and a touchdown. Pitts had 4 for 77, and that's it. That's all the Falcons did for us fantasy football-wise. Jimmy G was mediocre, 235-1. Jeff Wilson did what we were afraid he was going to do. Disappoint. Then in this game, play well when we finally bench him, right? Some of you started him. Some of you had dilemmas where Jeff Wilson was the best option, but there were a lot of you that had Jeff Wilson versus like Javonte, and how could you sit Javonte? You had Jeff Wilson and a much better option, Aaron Jones and Jeff Wilson, which Aaron Jones did pretty well. We'll get to him next because did we not go to the Packers side of the football on this one? Sorry, I skipped over the Packers. Let's go back real quick. Packers side of the football, 268-3 for Aaron Rodgers. Had himself a day. Aaron Jones was okay, 58 yards on the ground. That wasn't great, but Aaron Jones did have that 2 catches for 12 yards and a score, so mediocre, I guess. Scantling, 98 yards and a touchdown. Adams, 6 for 44 and a touchdown. A.J. Dillon had a touchdown on the ground, but not a whole lot else going on. So not a horrible fantasy football affair, but definitely lacking. Everything's lacking. Everything fell flat. Everything was pretty flat today. Completely flat. There were several big-name players that completely crapped the bed. Kittle had 93 yards, not bad. Debo, 4 for 60. And then, of course, as usual, rushing outburst, 6 rushes for 29 yards and a touchdown. Ayuk, nothing. 1 catch for 36 yards. Horrible. Yeah, that's that game. Flat. Another flat game. This game, we're getting so tired of watching Melvin Gordon, but, if we're being honest, would you run him into the ground if you didn't feel like you had anything to play for, or if you're approaching that horizon? So it's understandable and logical why they're saving him, but it's frustrating nonetheless. It's just frustrating. So if we start off on the Broncos side of the football, Bridgewater got hurt. Lockett came in and looked okay at times, throwing a touchdown pass to, Tim Patrick? Tim Patrick, 42 yards and a touchdown. Javonte Williams looked phenomenal. 4.8 yards per carry. 15 totes of the rock for 72 yards. And 4 catches for only 9 yards, but 4 catches nonetheless. That's 4 points for PPR. So that's going to give you, a little bit over 10 points in this one, which wasn't bad for Javonte. So can't wait for Javonte to be unleashed in 2022. It's kind of a good thing in a way. Just trying to find silver lining here that Javonte's not going bananas out, week 15 on out, because then we would have to pay top 4 overall value. Now, who knows where Javonte could fall if he doesn't explode on the way out, and let's say Melvin Gordon's on roster in 2022. I bet you have enough people afraid to draft him in like the top 8, top 10. You might see him fall around the turn. I feel like Javonte would be a very good 12, 13, bet at this point. But if he blows up in any of the final weeks here, you could definitely see people reaching quite a bit for Javonte, and for good reason. I'm not saying he won't be worth it. but really hoping Javonte is not like overpriced, because I want to get my shares. And we'll get to Jamar Chase in a second. He's going to be underpriced too. And I know people are mad at him right now. I'm mad. We're all mad. We all had a very, very bland week, across the board. I did. I have a couple leagues where I blew up, but I play in a lot of leagues. And I got to say, having a lot of shares of Najee Harris and, a handful of shares in Kamara, a lot of Jamar Chase, a lot of CeeDee Lamb, it was just a bad week. It was a bunch of bad scoring performances all at once. Melvin Gordon, 53 yards, and then 1 catch. So Melvin didn't have a great day. 157 and 1 TD for Joe Burrow. Mixon got hurt in this game. We'll monitor his health. 58 yards on the ground. Tyler Boyd had 5 for 96 and a touchdown. T. Higgins was flat, 2 for 23. No TDs. Jamar Chase even flatter. 1 catch for 3 yards. Awful. But 4 targets. Before we start blaming Jamar Chase, about, we got to look at the targets too. 4 targets. I mean, it wasn't all his fault. Let's see here. My whole team sold, bro. I'm down horrendous. CD, Kamara sold me heavy, and T. Higgins. Sorry, pal. Hey, Smitty, I started Joe Burrow over Huntley. That was a good move at the time, bro. And Joe Burrow, not a great game, but 157 and 1, 25 yards on the ground. Yeah, could have been a lot better. This game was flat. What games weren't flat? Not very many of them. We're moving on to the Carolina game. Carolina Buffalo. Cam Newton, 156, 1 TD, 1 INT. Cam Newton, 71 yards on the ground and 1 TD. Chuba Hubbard, nothing. 4 yards on the ground. 1 catch for 1 yard. Great. Thank you, Chuba. Amir Abdullah, 48 yards and a touchdown through the air. DJ Moore, 6 for 48. Robbie Anderson, 3 for 29. Nothing exciting there. Josh Allen, 210 and 3 TDs. I mean, not a bad day. 3 for 24 on the ground. Singletary, 86 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Davis, 5 for 85 and 2 scores. Gabe Davis is a guy to pick up for week number 16 if he's there. You got Reynolds, the Lions running back. You got Gabe Davis. You got Huntley. I'm going to do a waiver wire show. Don't worry. So Huntley, I'm going to write all these down. Huntley, if you got any other ones, shout them out. Gabe Davis and Reynolds so far. Shout them out if you've got them. So that was that. Panthers flat. Bills did good. My Cardinals fell flat. Losing to the worst team in football. The Detroit Lions. Kyler Murray, 257, 1 and 1. Chase Edmonds, 6 for 53. Good yards per carry, but not good usage. Connor, 8 for 39. Good yardage, but no good usage. Christian Kirk, we knew he would do probably pretty well. 9 for 94 and 1 TD. Zach Ertz, 74 yards. AJ Green, 4 for 64. The Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, 3 TDs, 216. There's Craig Reynolds, 26 for 112. The guy I laughed at. Take a lap, Smitty. Where's my take a lap button? I need to take a lap.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
That's for me. That's for me laughing at. And we knew that would happen. Laughing at Craig Reynolds. 26 for 112. St. Brown, loved him this week. He did phenomenal. 8 for 90 and 1 TD. I'm not taking a lap on that one because I loved St. Brown. That's that. Flat. Everything else flat. Move on. Miami Dolphins, New York Jets. This is a dreaded week. A dreaded week that we just endured. No TDs through the air. Zach Wilson, a rushing touchdown. Braxton Berrios, a rushing touchdown. Nothing to see here. Flat. Thank you. Tua, 196, 2 TDs, 2 INTs. Duke Johnson, very few people started Duke Johnson. That's another one to pick up potentially. We'll put Duke right here. I'll do that. I'll make an ad drop show later. Don't worry. Duke, 22 carries for 107 and 2 TDs, and he looked really good. Why they don't use Gaskin is beyond me. It's beyond me. Yeah, and yeah, Tyler, he's probably dead to a lot of people at this point, and I don't know why they even have him. They don't use him. He's ultra talented. I think everything Duke did, he could have done. Duke looked really good though. He did, but they just don't use him. They don't use Gaskin. I don't know if he got hurt. Does anybody know if he even got hurt? I don't even know if he got hurt. Terry Roberts with a super chat. Smitty, what do you think of St. Brown? I like him as a wide receiver, a high-end wide receiver 3 go forward, Terry. And hopefully you did good, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Terry, thank you for the super chat. Foster, you guys rock. Parker, 4 for 68 and a touchdown wasn't bad. That's it. Flat. Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Let's go to the next flat game. What a horrible week. Tannehill, no touchdowns. Deonta Foreman did pretty well. 108 yards on the ground. What did he do through the air? 2 for 27. So not a bad day. Not a bad day for him. Past that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Move on. Next. Pittsburgh Steelers. Flat. Big Ben ran for a touchdown. That's it. He didn't throw a touchdown. Najee Harris got 18 yards on the ground and 2 catches for 8 yards. Deontay Johnson, 5 for 38. Freiermuth, I think, got hurt, but 4 for 37. Check on him. Make sure he's okay. Does anybody have an update on Freiermuth? Claypool. Who's Claypool? 0 receptions for 17 yards. How does that even happen? How does this even happen? 0 receptions for 12 yards. Did he pick up a fumble? Like, well, what is that? What is that stat? 0 catches for 12 yards. Did he pick up a fumble? What happened on that? Does anybody know? Sam with a super chat. AB top 10 wide receiver if one or both of Evans and Godwin are out. Yeah, for sure could be. You're also worried about Najee. Yeah, Najee was, I was saying earlier, he might have been hitting that rookie wall. We're not sure. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just Pittsburgh not using him right. I mean, he only got 12 carries, but it was a bad outing. Bad outing. But yeah, I do like, and there's another question in here. I do like AB. Make sure you grab AB. AB's on the waivers as well. So Huntley, AB, Gabe Davis, Reynolds, Duke Johnson. Those are all the top waiver wire guys so far. Also, I'm worried about Najee. What should I do for week 16? I mean, bro, we gotta get through this week before, Sam, I can give you much advice. I mean, I could give you advice on Hendy right now, but what good is that going to do? We have no idea what he's going to look like, how much work he's going to get. We don't know if Gibson's going to fall flat on his face. I mean, for right now, Najee and Gibby are your top 2 backs, and we'll have to see how Gibby plays to make a determination on that. But really hard to go that direction right this second. But I agree with you, Sam, if that's what you're suggesting. AB is one of the better pickups of the week because people dropped him walking out of week 14. Some people dropped him on week 13, and a lot of people didn't pick him back up because nobody knows what's going on. Everyone, Smitty, just name in my league are gone already except Duke Johnson. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It sounds like you're, that league's deep. So here, Steelers, nothing. Just a complete nothing burger. Let's go to the next flat game. I don't know how anybody reached 100 points this week. Mills, 2 TDs. Burkhead, 16 for 41. Brandon Cooks had a day. 7 for 102 and 2 TDs. Brandon Cooks, congratulations. You're one of a few that had a good day. James Robinson, kind of back. I mean, get rid of a coach that doesn't use the running back. This is what happens. 75 yards and a touchdown on the ground. No passing touchdowns. No rushing touchdowns other than James Robinson's 1 touchdown. And your leading receiver is the tight end, O'Shaughnessy, like 4 for 60. Just a nothing burger there. This is just flat. Brandon Cooks, that's it. This is despicable. We only have 3 more games left. 3 more games left of flatness. I'm sorry it's so depressing today, you know? Like, I'm sorry I don't have, like, good news. This is just one of those live streams where you're not happy, I'm not happy. I'm not going to fake it. Today was crappy. It's just one of those bad days. You know, I didn't have any fun today. Why would I have fun when I'm watching all of everyone struggle in some capacity, you know? So it was just not a great day in general. You bet, Sam. It was just a little bit of a downer. 217 and 1 TD for Dak. Pollard, 74 yards off 12 totes, 6.2 a carry. Zeke Elliott looked good at times, but in the end, guys, he had 3.3 yards per carry. So let's not get excited and say Zeke's back when he had 16 carries for 52 yards at 3.3 a carry. But he did fairly well for those that had to rely on him and say, hey, get in the end zone. He did. Zeke Elliott had 3 for 20 through the air, so not a horrible day at all. Schultz, 8 for 67 and 1 TD. I love Schultz going into this week, but in fairness, I also love CeeDee Lamb, who only pulled in 50 yards off 6 catches. So, just another flat day. And look at this. More flatness. Barkley, 50 yards. No receiving production really at all for anybody. Barkley had 4 catches for 24. Booker had 74 yards on the ground on 8 carries, but nothing. Just flatness. Thank you. Thank you, Giants. Thank you, Cowboys. Thanks for contributing to another bad game. I'm sorry I'm so negative tonight. It was just rough. It was a rough day at the office. I'm going to tell you. It was a rough day at the office. And, you know, the text line, I have a lot of people that have had some players bust, right? So I'm going to get a lot of panic texts too. You know, we're like, where's Najee? Why did Najee not do anything? Where's, Jamar? So it's like, that's another thing. It's just like overloaded with a lot of disappointing, where was this guy today? Where was this guy today? It was just a crapshoot as to who was going to even do well. Here's this New England Colts game, which we already know what happened on that, but let's just look at it. 36 yards from Ramondre Stevenson, who crapped the bed. Mac Jones had 2 TDs, 299. Hunter Henry was the only wide receiver of note. 2 touchdowns, 77 yards. And then, of course, Superman himself, Jonathan Taylor, 170 and 1 TD. Basically nothing through the air for Wentz and the Colts. And that's it. That's your the KC game, which obviously was Thursday. And that was the best game of the week. Our Thursday game was the best game of the week because we had Patty Mahomes dropping 410 and 3 TDs. And we got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, nothing. Patrick Mahomes, 32 yards on the ground. Travis Kelce dropping a fire, 191, 2 TDs. Tyreek Hill, 148, 1 TD. And then we had Herbert, 2 TDs, 236, another touchdown on the ground with 16 yards. Not much from, Austin Eckler had 59 and 1 on the ground. And then what do you have in the air? 4 for 23. Not horrible. Mike Williams, not much. Keenan Allen, decent day, 6 for 78 and 1 TD. That's it. That's your week 15 stats. Let's get back to let's get positive again. I mean, you can only be negative when you're reviewing garbage numbers. So let's get positive. Sam with a super chat, that'll definitely help. Jalen Hurts is my QB, and I am in the semifinals, same league that I asked the question about Najee and AB. Ride with Jalen for the rest of the playoffs, or go hunt for a QB. Taysom Hill is my QB other QB PPR. Yeah, I mean, I like Hurts, but it really depends on how he comes out of the game. He's one of those quarterbacks where his coaching staff and the organization hasn't believed in him the entire way. So is he safe? No. Hurts is not safe. Is Hurts full of top 6 to 10 quarterback upside? Abso-freaking-lutely. Could Hurts run for 80 yards at a touchdown and throw for 2 TDs and 300 yards in any given game? Abso-freaking-lutely. Could he get benched at halftime any given game? Abso-freaking-lutely. So he's a high-risk quarterback. You have Taysom Hill, who's another high-risk quarterback. If it's me, Sam, I would make, even though you only have 2 weeks left, right? I'd still make a real protective, preemptive move and get another QB just in case, because you have 2 running quarterbacks that are high-risk, high-reward quarterback plays. What happens if they both go down? I know that sounds crazy to have 3 quarterbacks to some people, but I would go quarterback hunting, and then I'd take it game by game, meaning come out of this Eagle game here on Tuesday. I have to even look at the schedule. I don't even know, like, in my mind, it's so jostled around. I'm like, is that Monday or Tuesday? The Eagle game's Tuesday. Okay. Reset my mind. Coming out of the Tuesday game, the Eagle game, you'll know whether he's starting for you in week 16 or whether you need to use Hill or the guy you pick up, but most certainly backup. I'm not comfortable with Hill and Hurts for you, even with 2 weeks left. Things are that volatile. And then you've got the pandemic on top of that. Like, what if those quarterbacks, like, this is an important position. This quarterback spot is going to make or break you. And so you got to plan for the pandemic as well. 2 quarterbacks, especially high-risk quarterbacks, are not enough. They're just not. 135 in here, only 30 likes. Help Smitty out. Help cheer Smitty out and lamb the like button. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm a little down today. You know, I think part of it is, you know, there's some high-profile leagues that I'm in where I had Najee, and, you know, I'm down right now. I've got Jefferson in both of those leagues because I own Jefferson in like 80% of my leagues. I'm hoping Jefferson delivers for me. But it's just a weird week, you know, and there's no pointing fingers at anybody, and there's no hating on players like Jamar Chase. I mean, come on, guys. Like, he's been blowing up. He's been struggling. He's a rookie. He's going to be up and down. This is what, I mean, you had to expect this out of Jamar Chase as a rookie. You had to expect him to be up and down. Najee, he's a rookie, up and down. You know, it sucks. It sucks. And if you lost your week, we're going to tear it up next year. Don't think for a second I'm not going to have you back on track in no time talking about, you know, 2022 from a strategic perspective, risk averse. I'm going to go through a bunch of risk averse stuff in 2022. Late December and definitely early January content. We're attacking risk differently on the show. We're going to do a risk score for every player that's relevant and high profile. And I'm pretty confident that I'll have my risk rankings available by January 1 or right around there. And the risk rankings will be basically my rankings on the site. You know, so you can go view the redraft, the dynasty, the rookie, the top 200, whatever. And I'm going to have an alternate set of rankings that will incorporate a risk like a score of risk on top of that ranking that will subtract and move the players back around. So essentially, you'll have a risk score for like Clyde, let's say. So let's say Clyde walking into 2021 was in your top 10, but you're worried about him. That score, the risk factor, would have dragged him out of the top 10. And it would be eye-opening. It doesn't mean that we won't draft Clyde high in that scenario, because we did, and he did end up busting. The risk score would have helped us. We should have listened to the risk. Sometimes it'll identify a risk and the player won't get hurt, or there's the situation pans out. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but I want to incorporate risk in a different way, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But we're not giving up on 2022 or 2021 or anything. I'm just in one of those like negative places, I think. I'm rarely negative. I'm pretty upbeat about anything. It's just watching a lot of my people get hit with a Najee Harris bust. You know, a Tom Brady not throwing a single touchdown pass. Evans, Godwin, and Fournette all completely busting. Just watching everybody go through that, I think it was heavy. Like I take pride in watching everyone that follows my show and watch it. I want everyone to win. I take it personally when even one person DMs me and says, "Hey, Najee Harris crapped the bed for me today." Even though that's not my fault, like I feel responsible for everyone. You know, I want everyone here to win their championship in every one of their leagues. So it was just a heavy week. Smitty, watch some Yellowstone. Yeah, I will. Thanks, pal. Adams up 61.4, playing against Cook, JJ, Scary Terry. That's a close. This could be a close game, close battle. Rock out. Najee Harris, Brady, Lamb, Chase cost me the playoffs. That is a good group of players, man. You cannot feel like you made a mistake. That's an insane group of talent. I hear you, Smitty. I'm in a divisional match versus the 8 seed, and I'm down 23. He has Dalvin Cook, and I have Kupp, Metcalf, and the Eagles defense. Do you think I have a chance? So you're down 23. He has Dalvin Cook. You have Kupp, Metcalf, and Eagles. Yeah, you could pull that off. I mean, Dalvin Cook could have 11 points or 8 points. It could happen. I mean, look what Najee did. Look what like if I would have told you Tom Brady not only won't score a touchdown, rushing or receiving, but the Bucks won't score a single point, you would have called me insane. So could Cook, like, no one give up. Go into your, like, if not everybody here is like down either. I'm not trying to paint that picture, but if you are down, you know, and we played a lot of leagues, everyone here's got to have one league where they're worried about it. You know what I mean? Even if you're playing 3 leagues, you're gonna have one where you're like, you're nursing it right now, and you're like, is this thing am I gonna be able to take it the distance? Or you're already down and out. Fight. Like, don't give up. Like, fight. You still got a bunch of games left. Monday and Tuesday. So, but yeah, you could win, Trojan. You could win that. Kupp could go crazy. Metcalf could go nuts. Eagles defense could score. Like, you definitely could win that. You could definitely win that. Will it be easy? Probably not. Can you do it? Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, you don't bench Lamb or Chase or anybody like that. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. Brady had minus 1 point pretty much in your league. That's crazy. I mean, this is, how many people, let me know, what is your score? Everybody drop, in your main league, drop your score. Like if it's 78 to 85. And I know we have a handful of games left, but I'd imagine that most people have 1 to 3 players left at most. I don't think anybody's got like 7 players left. You know, you have maybe 1 to 2 or 3 players left. But drop your score. I venture to say that a lot of you are going to have scores under 100. Like, it is a crazy low scoring flat week. 84.64 right there. Up 29. You have Dalvin Cook, Renfro, and Eagles D. And he has D. Monty, McLaurin, Henderson. Very similar to the other question. You're up 29. You have Dalvin, Renfro, Eagles. He has Monty, McLaurin, Henderson, and Njoku. Of course I like your odds better. That's Peter coming in like this, is flexing his guns. Nice shot, Peter. 47-17. Mr. B's got 138. Well, you probably got a large roster, large lineup. Everyone else is around 100. 57 points. Cook, Goddard, Eagles. 78-28. 76 to 80. 34 to 26 Tampa. What are you talking about? Never shot. 116 to 85, 92 to 56. Look at these low-scoring games. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, and if you have Mahomes, you're probably doing pretty well. You know, Mahomes is a beast. I lost 140 to 113. No players left. I started 0-8 and 1 out, so not bad. Nice job, Hall of J game. Way to come back and have a nice little comeback climb. And I know it didn't work out for you, but we're going to get you on track next year. We're going to also do this. We're going to break this down. Let's go to the... with a lot of upside, and I'm gonna put him on the risk map. I almost benched Brandon Cooks for Odell. Nice move, bro. Nice move. Terry Roberts with a super. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you, pal. Look at that. Look at this man. Look at this man. We're gonna put him in the corner there. That's our main bouncer of the show. Him and Silver Rapture been bouncing all year. Rockouts are. I would say Rockout's a bouncer, but he's more like the DJ. Zinski, appreciate you here. I'm down 15. He's got DK, PPR. What do you think? I think it's going to be right to the wire, man. I like DK this week, but he's been busting, and he's got a lot of reason to be. You have a lot of reason to be both excited and concerned. What do you guys throw out a name? A player that you feel has got a lot of risk but upside. Let's use DK. So DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf on the upside board. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry if you guys couldn't hear. Can you hear me now? So JT, stupid source, input source changing on me. Can you hear me now? Okay. So JT, let's talk about JT. JT is on the lack of risk scale. I'm not going to put him as a 10 because it's pretty rare, or you'll never see someone that's got zero risk whatsoever. He is a running back, and a running back is going to have a little bit of injury risk. So put him in between 9 and 10. He's got low mileage, great situation, good offensive line. They're going to feed him the ball. He's getting better. He's still young. So we're talking about a guy that ranks almost 10 out of 10 on lack of risk. This is like the reverse of risk. So like very risky would be 0 or 1. And that's what this red zone is. So you don't want to draft players that are in this red area right here too often. So JT's like a 9.5 out of 10 on lack of risk. Almost as good as you can possibly get. On upside, 5 out of 10, 8 being the mark you want to get over. This dude is literally in the corner of this box. Not in the exact corner because he's got a little risk being a running back, given how much he ran this year. But he's literally a unicorn. This is a unicorn box right here. A unicorn box, and very few people make it into this box and become unicorns for fantasy football. JT, you are a unicorn, young man. DK. Where do we put DK on the lack of risk scale? He certainly isn't a 10. He certainly isn't a 9. Probably not an 8 anymore. He probably felt that way walking into 2021, right? But DK is in this red zone for risk. No question about it. His upside is still huge. I put his upside at 8. So I think he gets out of this red area, which is good. And this is where a player can be in a real bad spot on one of these, but the upside can take him out of the red area, which makes him, draftable and attainable. I would say DK does have an 8 in terms of upside, but his risk is probably 6. And keep in mind the difference between the lack of risk and the upside. Don't confuse them and start saying, oh, well, DK's got no upside because he's risky. Then you're not looking at this right. This decides the risk. This decides the upside. We know the upside. The upside was like here entering 2021, but we know that that's probably not the case anymore, but he still has the upside to be a top, 6 wide receiver. So his risk is probably going to be around 6. His upside's right around 8. Okay. Look at a guy like CMC. Christian McCaffrey. His upside no longer is 10, I don't think. I think you could argue 9 or 8, but his risk is literally, he's riskier than DK Metcalf. He's probably got more upside, but he's riskier than DK Metcalf. He might fall like somewhere in like this range, literally for the cost that you've got. And this risk can incorporate a lot of things. Your ADP, what the cost of entry is, versus the risk that you're taking on at the cost of entry. So Christian McCaffrey, where you're gonna have to draft him, most certainly is a 5, 6, or at least a 7. I would say 5 or 6 in my opinion. More upside than DK, sure, but will it matter? Will he even survive? A guy like give me another name, and then we'll make this the last one. Yeah, this is 2022. Because, CMC's out. So, 2022. I picked Najee for my second pick. It says Gallo. Eckler. It's a good one. Eckler. Eckler has easily an upside of 8 or 9. But I would suggest that Eckler walking into 2022, given the mileage, given that he's always kind of banged up, he's not on this side of this unicorn box. Eckler, to me, is probably on this side of that unicorn box. I don't think Eckler makes it in. JT's in there. Mahomes, I think, will be in the box because of the cost of entry. So let me give you one more example just so you guys can understand the difference and why. This doesn't mean that you're a top 5 pick. This means for the value. So Mahomes has an upside of 9 or 10 at the cost of entry, and his lack of risk at the cost of entry, which is 3rd or 4th round, Mahomes easily is a unicorn in fantasy football. And it doesn't mean you draft him 2nd. And even if there are only 5 players, let's say, that are in this unicorn box, it doesn't mean you draft him in the top 5. It just means that they are special at their ADP to the point where they're a unicorn. They're a unusual high value target that can win you a league at the cost of entry. Does not mean you draft them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 if there are 5 guys that fall into this unicorn box. So we'll go over this risk map. It's called the risk map. We'll go over it all off season. Broly says stay away from JT at 1. Come on, Broly. Come on, bro. Broly, I'm going to make you take a lap on that one. Just a little itty bitty lap. Just a tiny little.
Take a lap.
Just a little bitty one. Little bitty lap. Thanks again, Terry, for the super chat. Appreciate you, good buddy. Phil, thank you for the super chat. I assume this is your question you wanted to attach to it. Up 28 points, but they have JJ, Dalvin Cook, and Rams defense. Play Everett or Njoku. Probably Everett, but they're very close. Neither one's going to get you probably more than, 5 to 8 points. So you have a tall order in front of you, but you know what? Enjoy it, bro. Don't let it get you down. Enjoy the rush of it all. And maybe Cook and Jefferson don't do any. I mean, look at Tom Brady and the Bucs offense completely fall. Like, if you were down like 15 points and someone had Brady, Godwin, Evans, and Fournette, and you were down, let's say 20 points, and you were going to lose. You would have someone could have said to you, hey, give me half of your entry fee now, and I won't make you pay the rest of it. You would have done it, and then you would have lost. It's keep the faith, bro. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Thomas with a super chat. Slayer with a super chat. Fernando with the super chat. Zinski, thank you. Terry, thank you again. I'm down 44, full PPR. You have Njoku, Chubb, Vikings D, and Hurts. He has Russell Wilson left. Do you like my chances? Okay, so let's just wash Wilson and Hurts out. And so you're down 44 points with Njoku, Chubb, and the Vikings D. You've got a shot, man, but Chubb has to ball. And that's not going to get it done. Like, Hurts has to outscore Russell Wilson by quite a bit too. So, but that could happen. I mean, so you're not out of it. I mean, root for it. Hurts could outscore Russell Wilson by 20 or 15 points. It could happen. And then you need Chubb to ball out. But it's going to be tough because that offense is going to have trouble moving the ball. Potentially, for him to have like 30 points. But maybe he could have I think he could have 100 yards in a score. That's not crazy at all. I think he'll do good. I think he does good down the stretch this year. But, I mean, the way this week played out, who knows? Everybody could have a disastrous game, and then you need scoring, though. Cheer up, Smitty. Just one of those weeks. Week 16 will be nuts. Very, very short week. Yeah, but the reason I'm down isn't so much for me. It's when I see a lot of you that trust in Najee and trust in, these players that don't even show up at all, and I see you lose a game or you're down. Like, that's what gets me, bro. And people that lose, if you lose a game, like it just, I don't know. I take week 15 now. It used to be week 14. I take weeks 15, 16, and 17 hard for you guys when I hear stories of anybody dropping out. Because on my watch, I feel responsible. If anybody falls behind, one person, doesn't mean a majority of anybody are losing. If one person drops off, I take it personally. And I guess that's just the way I am. Cheer up, Smitty. Thank you, Slayer. Appreciate you. Appreciate you worrying about me. Calling him a unicorn remind me of the crazy hot Matrix scale. Yeah, that's kind of where I think that a lot of that rise from, bro. But yeah, that's what it is. A unicorn. It's almost like a fake. Let's see. It's almost like a fake almost an unrealistic expectation to be a unicorn in this box. And there's only a handful of players that will reach that status. Mahomes is in there, JT's in there. Eckler's not. He fell out of it. And we'll break more of that down next time. We'll do a lot of the risk map in 2022. Don't worry. I think I got all the super chats out of the way. Appreciate you guys dropping those. Terry Roberts again. Smitty, haven't kept up with the likes tonight. Sorry, don't worry about it. It's not one of those nights, Terry. We're not going to worry about it. You've done enough, pal. Relax. We're about done anyway. I just want to get on. It's been an hour already. I thought I was going to do a 20-30 minute show. Of course I didn't. Of course I went longer. Not your fault. Somebody hit or miss. Yeah, no, I know. I'm not taking the blame for it. I take it hard when you guys when I don't have every single one of my followers win. I take it personally. It's going to be one of those weeks where I'm just going to take it hard if any one of my people fall behind. Najee didn't deliver. People will miss their playoffs potentially because of Najee Harris, and that hurts because he had such a good year, Jamar Chase dropping a dud. It hurts to watch him drop a dud. It does. All the Bucks doing awful. That hurts, man. That hurts. Hopkins going down. Kyler Murray having a bad game against the Lions. That hurts to see it. It hurt for everybody that starts Kyler Murray, whether they're asking me advice or not. Just watching my followers start Kyler Murray and get what they got hurts down deep. To watch Cordero Patterson blow up all year for everybody and then drop a nothing burger this week, literally drops nothing, hits me down deep, man. I want every one of my followers to explode in weeks 15, 16, 17. So it's just, just one of those crazy weeks. I'm not saying I'm blaming anything on me or anybody or any players. It just sucks. Godwin expected to miss the rest of the regular season, says Troy. Let's pull up the news. Absolutely crazy. Is that from Schefter? Where is that coming from? Let's get to Schefter's page. He's typically the guy we need to go to, right? Adam Schefty. I don't see anything on that, bro. Godwin ruled out for the rest of tonight. I don't see anything yet on that, but if you have that information, Troy, send it my way or direct me to where I can find it. But I want to make sure I get confirmed on that before we leave it out there in the ether. AB, pick up AB. And you know what? Might as well just put this on screen now. This could change, subject to change, but the top pickups of the week. If you're in a QB, let's see, QBs. Huntley. Huntley did so good. He looked phenomenal. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Huntley looked as good as Lamar. Many people lost in the playoffs because they played the first round. Tell them all to take a lap for not having a bye, says Vincent. Vincent's not having it. I'm going to put up the waiver wire players. Okay, so Huntley, running backs, Duke Johnson, Tyler Huntley, Duke Johnson, Reynolds, Craig Reynolds, right? So forgettable. He's so forgettable. Why is he forgettable? Why is Craig Reynolds forgettable when he just ran for 100 yards? Reynolds, wide receivers, AB. Antonio Brown, Gabe Davis. I would say these are your top waiver wire guys for, we'll do another show on this, but your top waiver wire guys for week number 16. Let me put that on screen as well, just so it's clear. Week 16 top waiver wire ads. Who am I missing? I haven't put much thought into this yet, so if I'm missing somebody, let me know. Yeah, Craig Reynolds and Associates, man. He's such a forgettable name, but dude ran for 112 yards. What was it? Who else am I missing? Yeah, not a bad waiver wire for week 16, eh? So, Tyler Huntley, Duke Johnson, Craig Reynolds, Antonio Brown, and Gabe Davis. Josh Reynolds, I suppose. Make sure St. Brown isn't on waivers. I'm going to put him around here just in case. St. Brown. Just make sure. Just make sure St. Brown's not there. He might still be on waivers in some leagues. Yeah, P. Ryan, if Mixon's hurt, that's a good one. Check on P. Ryan. We'll put him in parentheses. P. Ryan. Rojo. Very good one. That's why I'm coming to you guys. We'll put Rojo after Craig Reynolds. So Duke Johnson, Craig Reynolds, Rojo, P. Ryan, Antonio Brown, St. Brown, Gabe Davis, Tyler Huntley. Foreman's probably not available in most leagues, but definitely Foreman. I mean, I'll say that verbally. Like, if Foreman's around, he shouldn't be available. He's been a top pickup for weeks. But, hey, maybe the data shows he's available in like 50% of leagues, and I'll definitely put him on the list when we do this show tomorrow. But that right now is my top waiver wire guys so far, unless I'm missing somebody. Wilson who, bro? Can you do my super chat? Sure, bro. I didn't know that I missed it. Let me know. If I ever miss a super chat, let me know, bro. I'll go find it right away. And Troy, thank you for that information. If it's confirmed, if I can find the confirmation on it, I'll toss it up. Not that I don't believe you, but the reporter might be wrong, or you know what I mean. So I'm just trying to find the where's your super chat? Are you saying if you do super chat, will I answer it? Absolutely. I don't know if you already super chatted. I don't see it if you did. If I missed it, I apologize. But drop it if you haven't yet. I'm not touching Wilson. Yeah, Wilson who? We talking about Zach Wilson? Yeah, I wouldn't go near Zach Wilson. MVS is a good one. I'll put him on here. MVS, that's a real good one. Oh, Jeff Wilson. Yeah, I suppose we put Jeff Wilson on here, but I think Mitchell might be back. So we'll put a question mark. Mitchell could be back. So that's your week 16 waiver wire ads right there. Russell Gage, probably still Gage, yeah. I think people have left him out on waivers. So we'll put Gage on there as well. Singletary potentially. Where's that super chat, pal? I'm looking for it. I don't think I missed it. Foster. Thanks again, Foster, for the super chat. Thanks again, Terry Roberts, for your multiple super chats, my good buddy. Thank you, Sam, for your super chat. I hope I'm not missing anybody. If I am, let me know and I'll yell at you. Terry again, thank you, Terry. Sam again, thank you, Sam. Adam, appreciate you. Trojan, rock out. Did I get to yours? Did I get to? Yeah, I did. It was the one about you losing your playoffs. I'm sorry, pal. It sucks seeing that. I take it so personally. I take it like I'm losing the playoff. I feel like I'm losing the playoffs when any one of my followers isn't in the playoffs or loses or gets knocked out. It's upsetting to me. I'm just completely upset. I got to go watch Yellowstone, like Terry said. Thanks again, Troy. Troy, for the super chat. Terry again. Phil, appreciate you, Phil. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Slayer, appreciate your super chat. Fernando, thank you, kind sir. Zinski, you're the man. Thank you, Zinski. Rock out, Trojan. I think I already named you guys. And that is going to put a triple stamp on the double stamp for tonight's show. If I miss your super chat at the last second when I hit end, make sure you tell me in the comments. Hey, Smitty, I super chatted. Not to mention, I will respond to everybody that writes a comment, not in the live chat, in the comments of the video, in the next 12 to 24 hours. So please leave me a comment. Please leave me a thumbs up on your way out the door. It helps the channel. We're about to hit 10K. We'll probably hit 10K, I hope, by next weekend, if not this week. So we need like 30 followers. So send it out to your grandmas. Let them know what's going on over here. And ask me a question in the comments. I appreciate all of you. Peace out tonight. Rest up. And I'll see you tomorrow. Those are your waiver wire guys, so get to it. And the super chat real quick was Murray, Najee, Adams let me down this season ending. I'm sorry, Lewis. I appreciate Lewis. We're going to get you all squared away for 2022, pal. And I'm picking up, I don't know, it depends on the news for Rojo, bro, whether he's worth picking up over St. Brown. So you're going to have to wait and see. Later, everybody.